Good evening. Welcome to Sacred Space. And hopefully that you are going to hang out with us for a while. Just take some time to just slow down your energy. We're going to start out with some meditation. We're going to do a few more things to just kind of release anxiety, anything like that. I do have a couple of equalizers with me helping me out, and they will prompt me because this is my first live, and I do have to pre-apologize. I am a Gen X witch. This is all new to me. So hello. So we're going to do our best here. So we're going to start with cleansing the space, of course. There are so many different ways to cleanse a space. I like to start with Palo Santo is always my preferred because it really has that light, clean scent. And one thing that kind of puts it aside from, say, sage in my mind is that it does not only render everything neutral, it can also help to elevate. Okay, so we're going to start with that. I just want you to visualize this smoke just kind of wrapping over you and taking away the cares of the day. Because that's really the idea here, is to slow down, get our energy back, ground a little bit, and then we can start with some readings. Okay. But the main thing to go back into is meditation. This is something I used to do on a regular basis, so I do like to prep for it energetically as much as I can. I mean, sometimes, we can go into a meditative space, but little things like this, the sage, the oils, the candles, all of these little physical things are touch points for us. Now, as you know, the sage, that's the air element, that's going to bring in lots of inspiration. Now I'm doing the water element, that's going to be the healing aspect. The nice thing about this is going up the forearms, because this is going to hit all my meridians, this is going to hit all my energy centers, and just put me in a nice clear space to start generating some energy for you. So, taking a deep breath. Just inhale, release. Breathing in for a count of 4, in through the crown of your head. Out for a count of 5, out through the soles of your feet. And the reason I'm putting my hands up here is I'm just trying to generate a higher and lighter energy towards you. So as you release, what we're going to do is you're releasing the energy you don't need. And we're going to generate some more energy that's at a higher vibration to bring in what you do want to manifest, what you do want to bring into your life. Because whenever you create a void and you release energy, if you don't fill it with something else that you want, then what you just released can come back. Because you've got to remember, you're already in that cycle of energy. So in order to uplift, you've got to be ready to fill it with something that you do want. You have to always set goals and intentions. When you release energy, you have to be ready to manifest energy. Okay? So welcome. And again, we are just taking in for a count of 4, right through the crown of your head. And you can imagine it's almost like a white light coming in through the top of your head, nice and slow. Out for a count of 5 through the soles of your feet. Just like that. And as you slow down your breathing, you're slowing down your heart rate, you are grounding. Because that's really what grounding is. It's just slowing down. We tend to make it way too complicated. Oh, we need to ground. I need to do this. I need to become like stone. No, you need to slow down. That's all it is. Okay, I'm gonna slow down with some tea. That's also a great way to ground, Something to eat, something to drink. Things to slow you down.
When you have a chance, make us moderators. Make us moderators.
I have no idea how to do that.
Later.
All right. Okay. Yeah, we have a nice little going back and forth with the equalizers here helping me out. And they're all giving me these wonderful technical things that a Gen X does not compute. Sorry. I'll do my best. Okay. So just cleansing one more time. And continue slowing down that breathing. In for a count of 4. Out for a count of 5. And it's good to see you all. Thank you for logging in. And then I want you just taking your hands as you're breathing in for a count of 4 and just kind of rubbing them. If you see, I'm doing a circular motion like this. When you breathe out for a count of 5, I want you to turn your hands towards the screen. And you're just going to try to receive the energy that I am generating towards you. Continue with in for a count of 4 and out for a count of 5. Good. Okay. Just trying to get you in that relaxed space. Okay. We've brought in the air element. We have the fire element for protection. We've brought in the water element for healing. And of course the earth element as we are grounding. And I'm surrounded by crystals. You can't see quite everything that's here, but you can see what's going on behind me. We're actually in the Warwick shop tonight. It's one of my favorite spots. I mean, even though I do have the Sugarloaf shop, which also happens to be, my house, I really do love this space here because it's something that I was able to create, really something that I was able to see unfold without any limitation. And when you have a house, you can only get so big. But here, I just had a nice empty shell. And I was just able to kind of download exactly the way everything was supposed to be. And we set it up. Okay. Oh, we got Murti agree with me on all the new technology. I know, I'm so bad. I look how long it took me to do a live. I mean, I was much better at the Facebook lives, but that just really betrays my age. Speaking of age, I'm going to be 51 when? What's today?
29.
Oh, good Lord.
2 days.
Okay, so 2 days. I don't even know. See, that's pretty bad. Okay, this senility is already kicking in. So, anyway. But that's why we have to get up with the energy, because that way if your brain fails you, at least spirit never does. Okay, so continue breathing in for a count of 4. And just washing in all that energy and out for a count of 5. Just kind of nice cleansing, because when you can get control over your breathing, you get control over your energy. That's all it is. In for a count of 4 and out for a count of 5. And yeah, thank you, you guys. I'm still young. Yeah, I feel good. I feel good. That's why, if I had a problem with my age, I would never say it. Like if I was not cool with being 51, I would never, ever say it. But I have no problem with that. Okay, mainly because I think it's important for people to know, 51 doesn't have to look a certain age. It doesn't have to look a certain way. 51 is what you decided to be. And I've also so many wonderful things have happened since I've turned 50. I'm really digging the decade. Okay. And if you look back at like old TV programs and just seeing what, 51-year-olds used to look like, and what I'm kind of manifesting right now, I'm pretty proud of that. Oh, thank you for the gift, George. Thank you. That was nice. Okay. So, and what does it have to do with? Good energy. Okay. Because energy really trumps anything else. Trumps age, trumps anything. Okay. You can have somebody who can be a very, very wise person at a very young age, and you can have somebody who's lived a very long time and be well, I'm not going to say that on my first live, at least. Yeah, okay. I'm going to filter just a little bit, okay. If it was my birthday, I'd say whatever the hell I wanted, but I got 2 days. So, what I'd like to do before we get into any readings or anything like that, I think what we're going to do is I would like to do a rejuvenation meditation. Okay, so this one is going to feel like as if you were a cell phone and you're going to plug in to recharge. So we're going to try to bring in a very nice, bright light of energy coming through. Now, the interesting thing about meditation is they say that 15 minutes of meditation is worth an hour of sleep. Okay? Because our sleep isn't always restful. Sometimes our mind is still going, and you can wake up more tired than when you went to sleep. And especially if you're getting a lot of messages from spirit, but you don't have enough energy to pull them through, because when you finally fell asleep, you were exhausted, because you were drained from electronics before you fell asleep, so on and so forth. Okay, so there's so many ways in which sleep does not necessarily give you the energy that you need. It'll give you enough to get through the day, but maybe not enough to really elevate you. Meditation, on the other hand, because you're plugging directly into source and you're receiving, will give you a higher level of energy. So in just 15 minutes, you can do a great deal of spiritual work. Okay? This is why even if you can fit a little bit of meditation into your day, it can really work wonders. Now, the thing with me, I don't know if you guys can relate to this. I always have to be focusing on something during a meditation. The whole emptying your mind, that does not work for me. And my mind is way too busy. Okay, always needs something to focus on. Okay, I'm seeing a lot more gifts coming through. Thank you so much. Oh, I got a crown. Thank you. So anyway, I always have to have something in particular to focus on. So I like my meditations to have themes. Okay, so this one is going to be more like a white flame coming in. So I'm going to have you think of it almost like a white column of flame that's going to be coming through the crown of your head. Okay, and when we get to that, I will talk you through the entire thing. But that's why I'm trying to get you to focus on breathing in through the crown of your head, in for a count of 4, and out for a count of 5, because that's really going to be the rhythm. That's what we're going to be working on when we do this meditation. And the more intensity that you can dial up with that white lightning coming through, the more energy you are receiving. Okay, so in the beginning, if you don't feel too much, don't worry about it. It's really more important that you are relaxed. That's it. If you feel more relaxed by the time you're done, you worked wonders. Okay? If you're able to slow down your breathing, slow down your heart rate, all right, you've done a great deal of service for yourself, even if you didn't visualize exactly what I'm telling you to. Maybe what I'm saying inspires you to visualize something else that works better for you. Okay, the whole idea is just as long as you feel better at the end, then mission accomplished. Okay? So, a couple of things to focus on. If you can, you see how I'm shifting right now, okay? If you can get both feet flat on the floor, it does help. This is another way to ground. It's just giving you a nice solid foundation, okay? Or if you're sitting directly on the floor, that's great too, okay? But I would prefer if you don't lay down, because you probably fall asleep, okay? And the whole idea is, if I wanted you to sleep, that's a whole different type of energy. It's not the same as meditation, because with meditation, you are actively receiving source energy, okay? So equalizers are barefoot with feet on the floor, ready to go. All right, time to start. Beautiful, okay? So, and I am too. So we're gonna start with 3 deep breaths, going right back to that rhythm. In for a count of 4, out for a count of 5. First one is going to be the physical focus. So as you breathe in for a count of 4, when you exhale out for a count of 5, relaxing your body, dropping your shoulders. Just feel everything slow down, almost like a nice gentle wave washing over your entire body, rooting you deeply into your seat. Perfect. Next one, in for a count of 4, in through the crown of your head. This time letting go of any mental distractions as you exhale out for a count of 5. Nothing else to worry about. Don't give it a second thought, let it just pass right through. Very good. And then the final one, in for a count of 4. And this time as you exhale out for a count of 5, you're gonna close your eyes. Good, okay. You don't need to see me, you only need to hear the sound of my voice. Continue to breathe in for a count of 4. Each time as you're breathing in, you want to feel the crown of your head starting to glow with a bright white light. As you exhale out for a count of 5, you're going to feel almost like a gray smoke passing out through the soles of your feet. Good. Okay. Again, in for a count of 4, bright light, getting even brighter, pulling it in through the crown of your head. Now it's starting to enter and moving downward through your spine. And as you exhale out for a count of 5, you're just allowing your body to settle into this new, brighter white light. Now as you're breathing, you start to feel this white light branching out, spreading out throughout your body. It's entering your bloodstream. So if you can visualize it, moving all throughout your meridians, all throughout your blood, in for a count of 4, and out for a count of 5. Good. And send more white light to any area of your body that needs it. Do you have any tension in your lower back? Focus and concentrate it there. Is there something going on in your shoulder? Focus and send it there. Wrap it all around. Going up the back of the neck. Send it there. Did you have a rough day? You were experiencing a great deal of anxiety. Send it directly into the heart. Okay. Remember, you've got all of this beautiful white light energy. It's a healing, it's a powerful energy, it's a very high frequency. Okay, so take advantage of that. Okay, wherever you will it to go, it's going to follow. So all you need to do is focus on that particular area, and that's where the energy will go. Beautiful. Okay, continue to breathe in for a count of 4, pulling in more white light to add in, and as you exhale out for a count of 5, now you're spreading it all throughout your body. And that is the process. Continue to do that. And at one point, you can just kind of release that and allow the energy to go wherever it wants to go. You don't even have to think about it anymore, because now you finally hit a nice cycle of energy, just going higher and higher and higher, lighter, cleaner, quieter, and more effortless. As effortless as you're breathing. Good. And you're doing beautifully. And then take a moment to focus in on your heart. And feeling it spreading out to all parts of your body, evenly. In for a count of 4. And out for a count of 5. Good. And just take a moment to feel yourself just being bathed completely in that white light. Resolving that when you do finally come out of this meditation, you will feel different. You will feel lighter, you will feel brighter. Your energy will be working more efficiently. You will definitely feel a shift in energy. You're going to be different from now on. Everything will seem just a little bit easier, and it will be easier to tap back into source. Just take note of how you feel and know that you can come back to this feeling at any time you wish. So one last deep breath in for a count of 4. This time as you exhale out for a count of 5, you're going to make it a little more audible. Just bringing the focus back to the physical realm just a tad. Good. Starting to bring it back to the natural world. Next breath in for a count of 4, a little deeper. And again, exhaling through your mouth. Getting ready to come back. Last breath in for a count of 4. And on this exhale, if you're ready to do so, or if you haven't already done so, you're going to open your eyes. And there you go. Okay? So that's just a way of shifting with different types of energies. And visualization is actually very potent. We don't realize just how powerful that can be. You know, just thinking about something. Like a lot of people, I don't know how to ground. Well, focus on your feet. It's really that simple, is that when you start to bring your focus to a certain area, then that's where the energy goes, okay? So we don't want to make it too complicated, okay? There's one thing I like to tell people a lot when they are trying to ground, or they're trying to get rid of excess energies coming in, particularly if you're picking up a lot of outside energies. I usually tell people to put salt in the soles of their shoes because it helps to draw everything down. But a big part of it is that reminder, feeling that grit underneath your feet occasionally, because the second you start to focus on the soles of your feet, then that's where all the energy starts to just kind of release through there, and it does its job, okay? You are aiding it in a way whenever you're aware of it, okay? So you can do it on your own, but the salt just makes it easier. Okay. And of course, salt is always going to pull out negativity. It's just going to be doing a lot of the job for you. Okay. And, you know, as more spiritual people, you know, just being attracted to this sort of thing, you're naturally going to want to come up with some more protocols, because, you know, if you weren't sensitive to energy, you probably wouldn't have picked up on this broadcast. Okay. So, hi guys. I see you there. Okay. So, now that we're a little bit more relaxed, we're a little bit more clear, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start going into some readings. Okay, I have a lot of different things here. Okay, and what's very interesting about tonight is this is one of the few times it's like I am pretty much going to try to channel what I think you guys need. I have no idea what I'm going to do. Okay, normally that would sound like a bad thing to a lot of people, but whenever I say I have no idea what I'm going to do, that usually works out very well. I very rarely plan anything for a class. If I do, the moment I walk into the class, it just goes right out the window because I just start channeling. So I'm just really trying to plug into the energy. That's why the meditation is so important, because now I feel the connection. I can really feel everybody's energies, what we need to focus on, okay? And I'm just seeing right now, what I'm getting overwhelmingly is just a lot of people who are putting themselves on the back burner. Okay, so that's why I'm so glad that you stopped and you took a little bit of time to join me in this live. Okay, because very rarely do you get these times, do you get these moments to slow down a little bit? Okay, so I can already see I'm accurate. I'm getting a lot of hearts there. So we're going to start with, I have my rune cards here, but for some reason, I actually want to start with my chakra stones. So what I like to do is when somebody sits down with me in a one-on-one, and I try to get an idea of where their energy is coming from, I'll have them go through the chakra crystals, and I'll just have them think, what is your challenge right now? Okay, and then I'll have them pull out a stone, and we get a specific chakra to work on. Okay, and that will tell you a little bit. So I'm going to give you an example of how that is done. So I'm actually going to do it for, well, I was going to do it for myself, but I'm looking at an equalizer over there. Yeah, you. That's right, you. Okay. All right, so one of the caps locks over there is getting it. Okay, so that's Gen X speak. You're a caps lock now. Okay, so anyway. Okay, so I would just focus on her energy. Okay, and now I'll just say, what is her challenge right now? And I'll just show you what I'm talking about. So I'm pulling out something, and this is about the third eye. Okay, now, unusually enough, you wouldn't think this would be a challenge. If you knew this particular person, that wouldn't be a challenge. But I would say right now with the third eye, overthinking is the enemy. Okay, and that's what's draining you right now. Okay, that's really, okay, I'm getting it like that over there. Okay, so, okay. All right, so with the third eye, you know, that represents wisdom, it represents the mind. But see, the thing is that when we deal with the third eye, when you're dealing with the mind, okay, there are two different ways that you can go. You can go with your left brain, you can go with your right brain. Okay, you know, when you're with your left brain, you're over analytical, you're trying to problem solve. You're kind of more in that fight or flight where this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this needs to be done. What that does is it brings your energy so much over to this side that it kind of keeps you from getting your downloads. It keeps you from getting that free flow of energy from spirit. Okay. It's not bad because there are times when we need to problem solve. We need to be focused. We need to do work. But then there are other times where we need this other information that comes through from spirit. That comes through from more of a feel-based type of thing. And right now, you're very much in the right brain. Okay. So that's the thing that's draining you right now. Now, if I turn around and I say, okay, all right, that gives you one idea, but what is your strength? Okay. So now I'm going to ask you what your strength is. Okay. And we get, you're not going to believe this. Okay, sacral. I know. So you've got to lean into the feeling. Okay? So I would say ultimately, if you are facing a problem, okay, and you're thinking, how am I going to solve this? Okay? And you can't come up with it right away. Well, it's not your problem to solve. It's not. Okay. The one thing you need to control is how you feel. Because if you don't know how to solve it right now, like I'm saying, the universe hasn't given you all the tools to solve it yet. It's still gathering all of the information. Okay. And you've got to allow the universe time to do that because it's going to solve the problem so much better than you ever could. So you do have to allow it to gather. Okay. When you doubt, or when you overthink, or when you try to solve the problem for the universe, it shows a lack of faith, which makes it harder for you to manifest. Okay, because when you have a lack of faith, that's a blocker for a free flow of energy. Okay, so if you can just lean into I really feel that it'll be fine in July. I really feel that it'll be fine in July. Okay, this is something I already know. Okay, from this person. Okay, then your best bet is to lean into how can I feel better in my current situation? Because this moment I start to feel better, the moment I start to bring in higher levels of energy that help to get the problem solved. Does that make more sense? Okay. Now it seems counterproductive. You know, you're trying to solve a problem and I'm basically telling you not to worry about it. Okay. But what I am saying is you do solve the problem when you take all of that worry out of there because the worry does not solve the problem. Okay. And that is wasting your energy and that is bringing your energy levels down so you're not able to do what you need to do. Okay. So if you have to go through a difficult time, the last thing you need is to drain your own energy. Okay. We have enough things that try to get our energies from us. We don't need to aid it along by giving, basically putting worry out and giving our energy away. Okay, we drain ourselves more than often than other people do. It's a funny thing. And when people do drain our energy, they're usually mirroring something about ourselves that we don't like. Okay, and I know that can be tough to hear. Yeah, it was a very Gen X thing to hear, but there we go. So anyway, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do it for you guys in general. Oh, thank you so much. All right, so I'm seeing some really good comments there. Hello, Veronica. Good to see you. Okay, so what I'm going to try is in general. Okay, what is the one thing that's really draining all of us right now? Okay, what do we need to focus that on? What is our challenge collectively at this time? Okay, because when people gather together on a live or something, or we're all watching or focusing on something at the same time, we all have like a similar link. Okay, we have something in common. Otherwise, you would have never found this. And this is my first live. Okay, so if you landed on this and you have no idea who I am, I'm telling you right now, you needed some type of energy or whatever it is I'm putting out at this time. Okay, so collectively, what do we need right now? What's our challenge? Okay, and that is the heart chakra. Okay, now the thing about the heart chakra, okay, remember that's the center, that's your balance. Okay, so first off is I would say focus on the work-life balance. Okay, so that's the first thing. The other thing is that are you balancing the way you give and take? Are you giving too much and not receiving in return? Look at your relationships. Okay, because the heart chakra does deal with connecting with others. It deals with empathy. It deals with, family and friends. It is everyone. Okay, so let me see. I see a good question here. I hate that people's energy can change mine. It's hard for me to keep theirs off of me. That's very common, honey. Okay, very, very common. Okay, and that is the sign of somebody who's very sensitive to energy. That is a powerful empath energy. Okay, and that is the heart chakra. The heart chakra is the power of the empath. Okay, how do you keep other people's energy from affecting yours? You have to get your frequency a little higher. Okay, because if other people are working at a lower frequency and you're at a higher frequency, you're just going to bypass them. Okay, so you've got to remember that nobody else's energy has the power to affect yours. What's going to happen is if you see things you don't like and you start reacting to them, you tend to pull your energy down. Okay, and I just saw the coolest thing across the screen. What the heck was that? All right, I'm sorry. I just saw this cat thing and that was just awesome. That was freaking awesome. I'm sorry. I'll go right back to what I was saying. So anywho, okay. So you need to keep your energy at like a higher frequency, like that cat paw, which was really awesome. So anyway, when you're doing that, okay, you just bypass the lower energies. When you see the lower energies and they start to affect you too much, what you're doing is you're lowering yourself down to meet them. It's probably a pattern you learned from childhood. It's probably a pattern that you learn, like growing up in your house. It was a survival technique. You didn't want to shine too brightly. People thought you were weird about, these special abilities that you had. They told you were too sensitive. They told you were too this, too that. So you learned to dial it down. Now it is a habit. And when you dial it down, you become more susceptible to those energies down at those lower frequencies. Okay. So how can you do that? Okay. How to get your energy level up higher? Well, first off, what we just did. Okay. You do need some more time to give yourself the self-care that you need. You do need to give yourself these meditations. You do need to shut yourself away. Animals can lift you up instantly, but you want to give yourself more positive things to focus on. Okay. Now, I do always recommend putting the salt in the soles of the shoes because it pulls out any excess energy. Okay. So when you're wearing that, the salt pulls out any negativity that you're getting from anybody else. That's an immediate quick fix. When you get home, you take your shoes off, you shake the salt out before you go inside. So you leave all the negative energy outside and you go in with a nice clean energy. So that's a nice quick one. But you can always just do whatever it takes to get your energy up to higher levels. Okay. What brings your energy level up? Things that make you happy, things that make you joyful. Okay? So I'm seeing, let me just look at the comments. I've always been told I was too sensitive. I've learned to hide myself from others. Okay. Yeah. These are all the things that very energy sensitive people have been taught. Okay. And now it's time to kind of let that energy back out. Okay. So what kind of salt, we're asking? Okay. It's salt that has been energized in some way, salt that has been prayed over, maybe some sea salt if you can do that. We actually make a beautiful ritual salt. We make 3 different kinds. We have a white salt, we have a pink salt, and then we have black salt, depending on the level of need. Okay, and then we put that out during the moon. It's mixed in with some herbs and some oils, so that's really energized. But also kosher salt has been prayed over, if you can get that. Anything like that that's just a little bit more pure. So these are all things that are going to help. And also little protocols to have with you during the course of the day. Okay. So if you have crystals that you can carry on you, if you can have talismans, you take something and you charge it when you're feeling good, when you charge it when you're alone. Okay. You put all of the positive energy you can into it. Then you wear it during the day. You have that whenever you need it because it's already been supercharged. So you just grab that, you hold on to it whenever you need. Then you've got the salt, like I said. Okay, this is actually our version of the salt. And the white one, that's kind of like the nice general one. Okay, and this is a type of kosher salt, but it's also been really super energized because we use it constantly. Okay, that's just any type of medium or empath. It's just really, you're going to need it. Okay, so I would say just have that on the regular. Now, what will happen is after a while, you'll find, and you can even carry like a pinch, like just say, what if you're wearing flip-flops? You can't do that, okay? You can have a pinch of it somewhere. You can just throw it in your pocket and just have it, just have it in your hand, something, whatever you can do, just having that around. And people forget, why salt? Well, you know what it does with, spiritual energy, but it's also the earth element, so it grounds. Okay. So there's all of these different ways in which to do it. I also do recommend a lot of aromatherapy because that is something that can shift the energy very, very quickly. What's the highest scent, the most uplifting, the most energizing? What is one of the highest frequencies you can go for a scent? Rose. Okay. If you don't like it, don't worry. There's lots of other scents, but rose is one that's just, that puts you up into the stratosphere. Okay. So let's see. Lots of crystals, lots of black obsidian and amethyst. Beautiful. Okay. So what you also want to do is you want to bring in some of the lighter crystals because, you have those to kind of anchor and everything, but then always have a clear, like a selenite or a clear quartz or something like that to just kind of refract and just bring it up a little bit more. Okay. So now that we've talked a little bit about that, and we just realized what our challenge was, now let's go back to what is our strength right now. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing. And the strength, look at that, is the crown chakra, spiritual energy. Okay. So when you lean more into that, that's going to take you exactly where you need to go. How can you exercise more spiritual energy? Believe it or not, readings. Okay. You are divining. It's divination, is connecting with the divine, connecting with spirit. So when you're doing things like this, even if you're getting a reading, anytime, just focusing on anything like that, that will bring you right into that energy. Okay. So I see one quick question. What are some ways I can apply witchcraft rituals to a busy, unpredictable schedule? Okay. Well, one of the things would be, like I was saying, just charging the talisman and having it with you. You can also, one that I really like, get either some Reiki symbols or sigils, and you can kind of be drawing them on your hand. You can be drawing them over your heart whenever you need. These are easy things where you don't need a tool at all. Okay. All of those things are things that you could just kind of bring in, and always, wearing the scents. This is one that I like in particular, one of the oils that we make. And that's the one that I just kind of rubbed on the arms before, because then every time my hand passes by my face, I get that scent. Boom. Now I feel magical, witchy, and wonderful. Okay. So we can do a few readings here. I'm actually breaking out the runes for this one. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about runes in case you don't know. Okay. It's actually an alphabet. Okay. It is a Viking alphabet. And some of them look just like letters that we've had, like for example, this one. Okay. Because you got to remember it's like a Germanic alphabet. So it's, when you're talking about English language, it's based on so many different languages coming through. So we have a little bit of everything. And then there's some that look completely different, like this first one that I had up there. Okay. But the reason I'm calling the fact that it's an alphabet is it literally spells things out for you. So it can be a little blunt. Okay. So that's why I'm saying, if you want a reading, just keep in mind, I'm going to give you a real direct answer. Okay, so, oh, Crystal, I see you. Hi, there you are. Okay. I have known Crystal forever. Crystal was one of my very first black belts. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to take a sip of tea. All right. And I'm going to start with first reading. Okay. So these are going to be, when I'm doing rune readings, I like to do the past, present, future spread. So we're going to do the 3 little stacks and then just from there. So the question that I really want to look at right now has to do with employment. Okay. And this one comes in a lot. Okay. So I just want to just look at that one. So I'm seeing 1, 2, 3. This is, wow, this is really, really positive. Okay. This is for the other equalizer. Yeah, you. Okay. All right. So, okay. Yeah, you might want to come over and look at this sucker. All right. Now, first thing to explain about anything that has to do with runes. When we pick up runes, okay, they're different than, say, a lot of other forms of divination, say tarot, because, you know, tarot, they all have a reverse. Runes don't always have, like this guy here. See, if I reverse it, it's the same exact thing. Okay. When that happens, that is an extra strong message. Okay. This one in particular is like a lightning bolt. Okay. This is Sowelu. It's the sun. It's the power. It's the victory. Okay. So when I start asking about employment or something, this is pretty much saying that you have all of the power in your hands to make whatever situation you can work. Okay. So we're starting with that. Okay. Now, then I start saying, well, where? Okay. X marks the spot. Okay. So, I think that has a lot to do. All right. We'll just leave it at that. Okay. But again, another one, Gibo, the gift. What's nice about this one, it's a mutual respect and a balancing of a relationship. So like in order to create an X, what you have to do is you have to have 2 equal things leaning at each other at exactly the same amount. One is not leaning more than the other because then it would fall. Okay. So in order to create an X, you have to have a perfect balance. Okay. And then finally, you did get one that could have a reverse, but it was upright. Okay. Kinaz. Okay. The torch, the opening, the beginning, the passion. This is basically you need to go where your passion is. Okay. So I didn't tell you anything you didn't already know. Sorry. But that's the way it should be, isn't it? Okay. When you get a reading, okay, and if somebody is giving you something like really out in the outer stratosphere, like somebody is like, oh yeah, you're gonna meet this guy, you know, that looks like he came from planet Xenon or something, you know. I mean, it should be something that already resonates with something that you know. Okay. So the whole idea with that is that if I'm telling you something in a reading and you're really kind of feeling that and I'm just validating you, then we know we're on the same page. Okay. It's when you get a reading, if there's too many surprises, you've got to make sure that they're reading you and they are connecting with your energy, because sometimes if a reader is not clear on things, if they haven't really faced a lot of aspects of themselves, they'll start to read you in a way that doesn't necessarily make sense because they're reading you from a wounded place. Okay. You ever been like, say, for example, you've been walking anywhere where it's like kind of touristy, and then you always get the reader that comes out, wants to read you, and then they say that you have a curse attached to you, and if you pay them like $500,000 or whatever it is, they will heal you, right? Yeah, like this. Okay, so anyway, wise guys. Okay, so, and that's not necessarily what you're looking for. Okay. Readers don't have this magic ticket. Okay. What they are doing is it is their ability to be clear enough to connect to you in a way to tell you what you need to hear in the best way possible, in the way that is going to inspire and uplift you the most. Being able to put things in a way that you can get your information down clearly and it aligns with what you already know about yourself. Okay. A reading is a partnership. Okay. That's the whole idea. And if you're getting in front of somebody and you're asking questions and, you know, if they're like, if you're trying to get them to tell you, like, you want them to tell you your middle name or something like that, that's not a reading. Okay. That's a performance. All right. So, you know, when you do ask for a reading, make sure it's going to be something that is going to give you the validation and guidance that you seek. Okay, so that's the whole idea. So I can take a couple of more, right? I have some time. Yeah, I got 20 minutes. All right. So if anybody else wants a reading, just kind of pop up there and let me know. If not, I'm going to keep right on going. Okay. All right. I see Breathless wants one. Okay. Anything in particular, or do you want just general, hon? Okay. All right. We're going to do a general. Okay. All right. Yeah, I see a bunch. Okay. So equalizers, you just start taking them down. Right. So that's health. Okay. I see one for health. General. Breathless wants general. All right, Miss Breathless. Let's see. So I'm just going to let you know whatever comes out. We're doing, again, a 3-step here. Okay. And I'm getting some growth. Oh, one shot out at me. That's always a good one. Wow. Okay. So the couple of things I want to ask you here, okay, because it's just the way everything's kind of aligning. I am seeing something about, some new growth coming in. And then I see finally at the end something about inheritance and kind of stepping into your own power, particularly in the home. Okay. So, but then there's a little bit of like kind of going with the flow and then a standstill. So I'm interested in what's kind of going on with your living situation right now, because it seems like you might be going through a little bit of an adjustment period, but then you're finally stepping into your own power. Whatever living situation you're in, it's not necessarily where you want to be. It's not really the top thing, but then I see all of a sudden there are going to be some opportunities coming in because you did get the lightning bolt of victory coming in there. So I do see a lot of shifting coming in there. So this looks good. This looks good. So even if you're not where you want to be right now, I do see some powerful, positive change coming in terms of success, right? There may be a shift with a little bit more opportunity coming up for you. Okay. So if there's been, okay, it makes sense. Good. All right. Okay. Who's next? Maritza. Okay. Maritza, honey, what'd you want? General? Got it. Okay. All right. So let's do this again. Okay. So, with the runes, again, they're kind of shooting out. Wow. Everybody's pulling success. Maritza, you need some rest. Okay. I'm seeing this one. The energy's dropping on you. Okay. This is actually what's coming. That's where you are right now. I'm seeing a lot of signals. I'm seeing a lot of things getting cleared up. Okay. So there's a lot of clarity coming in, but what's happening, I feel like there's been like this long period for you where you just couldn't get things going. And now that you do have that clarity and everything's starting to flow the way you want, you're kind of overdoing it. Okay. So you do need to kind of slow that down and make sure that there's enough balance in your life, because doing is not always the most productive thing spiritually. You have to receive as well. Okay. Because there has to be balance. All right. So when you're putting a lot of output and you're helping people, helping this person, helping that person, helping this, helping that and everything, you're pouring from an empty cup and everything. So you're constantly giving the message of imbalance to the universe. So it's going to put you in situations where it's asking for more and more of your energy, because that's the frequency you keep putting out. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are, resting and recharging just as much as you are putting your energy out to give the signal to the universe that you deserve your balance. Okay. So I told you that was blunt, honey, but that's good. That's exactly what you need to hear. Okay. Just, you have to get over the guilt that when you are not doing something, you are not being productive. Okay. You're actually downloading, which is the most productive, believe it or not. Okay. More so than doing. Okay. And that's a new way of thinking that you have to start wrapping your mind around. Okay. It's more advanced. You are ready for it. Okay. Who next? Veronica. Oh, Veronica. Hello, my love. All right. Did she want something in general?
She did not say yet.
Okay. So she's getting general. Okay.
Yep,
But okay, good. All right. General is always good, because sometimes something comes out that you're not even thinking of. All right. But if there is a pressing issue, you should most definitely mention it. But if nothing comes to mind immediately, just go general. Okay. So, Miss Veronica, you and Maritza need to go out together for a few drinks, okay? Because you're both pulling that energy on the DL there. You need some girl time, okay? There's a little resistance coming in here. Have a feeling that this has to do with the job, okay? I don't know why, but this just keeps coming in very strongly. That's a job. This is not this. This is not this. Remember when I was talking earlier about the balanced X? You see how this is a lopsided one? So it's one-sided, okay? You're just, again, a lot of output. It just seems like there's just too much energy going in a certain direction, and it's not going for you. Okay. So Then for this one, now we've got, but in the future, you've got an opening up. You've got the fire and the passion coming back. So it looks like you're moving out of that phase, but you know that you need to do things more for yourself, but it's just kind of like, how do you fit that into your current schedule? So just keep pushing forward, because that's really what's going to bring you the balance, the satisfaction. It's going to be better for you. It's going to be better for all of the people around you. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. And I would say, talk to Maritza, maybe go for a ladies' night out. Couldn't wait. I know a good place you can go. You should go shopping. All right. So anywho, okay.
Drea.
All right. Who's next?
Drea.
Okay. Drea. Did she ask for anything in particular?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yep, that's her. She's on the list. Yep.
Okay, good. All right. Yeah, Drea, you are on the list, hon. You are right now. Okay. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to do, yes, shopping. That's Maritza. Okay. I'm going to do Drea, honey. I'm going to do general for you. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I see some movement. I see some self-awareness. I see, oh, this is beautiful. What a beautiful progression of energy you've got here. Okay. It looks like you just finally kind of came to a new level of understanding. Your energy is starting to open up. You're really starting to kind of go in the direction you need to go. Okay. You're starting to look into some things. So the first thing I saw was movement. Okay. And then did you see how it turns, now you add a little bit more to the M. You see this? This is self-awareness. It's showing a little bit of a breakthrough right there. And then the third one, you take away those two little legs and you get my favorite one in the whole bunch, which is Degas, which is the full-on breakthrough. It's the butterfly of transformation. So it shows kind of like shedding that old energy and stepping into a new. I have a feeling you've recently gotten rid of a lot of dead weight. Okay? That could mean a lot of different things. It could be in person. It could be a job. It could be a situation. But you are doing beautifully. Keep on that path. Excellent job. Okay? So, who else we got?
Alchemy.
Alchemy. All right, I like that one. Alchemy.
And she asked for health.
Health. That's a good one. Okay. So, I'm actually going to chakra crystal first. Okay. Throat chakra. All right. So, that's about putting that energy out there. I would say being heard. Okay. I don't know why, but I keep getting that whoever you're working with health-wise is not listening to you. Okay? You need to be heard. All right, but first off, let's get into the runes. 1, 2, 3. Breakthrough. Okay. This is an interesting one. So we started with a recent type of breakthrough in terms of health, where you might have finally started to get something that you can kind of latch onto that is a little bit more positive. All right, there. But however, you're hitting a little bit of a snag with the flow, because this is normally Laguz, which is upright, and that represents a lake and nice going with the flow. The current is, the energy is going in your favor. This is kind of like, it's almost like you're pushing against something. So you're not being heard by whoever you're working with health-wise. You're not necessarily on the best type of protocol that you could be on, but then I do see this nice new beginning. Okay. I don't know why, but I just feel like I need to tell you to look into your diet, look into that nutrition wise. I don't think that you are getting the proper nourishment. That has a lot to do with, some of the things that are going on. I just feel like a real drop in energy for you. So I hope that helps. Okay. But definitely look into that a little bit more, because throat chakra is all about being heard. And right now, you're experiencing some things and you're not being heard. Okay. And until somebody can hear you, they are not going to be able to work with you properly. They're not going to be able to give you the care that you deserve. Okay. All right. So.
And now for spiritual.
Spiritual reading. Okay.
For Anelli. Sorry if I butchered that.
Okay. So spiritual reading. That's
Anelli.
Is it the Queen?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I was waiting for that one. Okay. Spiritual reading. Okay. First off, I almost don't need you know what? I'm going to do the Oracle cards. Okay, Miss Queen. Let's see what we got. Okay, so the Oracle cards are a little bit different. These are actually direct messages from Spirit. So we're going to go into, all right, you've got detox. It's time to purge, let go, release, and clear your energy, which is very interesting, because before I pulled this, I felt like a lot of things are pulling on you. I kind of feel like you're a bright light surrounded by a lot, kind of like a vacuum. Not necessarily darkness, but things that are pulling on you, because it's important to know that bright lights do attract moths. Bright bulbs attract moths. Okay. And I have a feeling that you're kind of in that situation right now. All right. You want to think about where you are and where you're going. And what's happening is as you're growing spiritually and you're coming into these new understandings, the people around you kind of match more where you were, not necessarily where you're going. And that's why they're pulling on your energy. Okay. So I want you to look into kind of trying to draw in more people who are in alignment with where you're going, because you do have a beautiful, bright energy. And we want to cultivate that as much as possible. Go wherever you feel that you can find more like you, more star seeds like you, if that makes sense. Okay. So more tea for me. Who's next?
We have Sarah who asked about finances.
Sarah about finances. Okay, Sarah, let's go. That's runes. Okay. So, I got a heart. I'm so happy. Thank you very much. Okay. So for the runes, those are those really direct answers. When I want something more like emotional or spiritual, I'm going to go more for an oracle card or for chakras. But when it's like, I want to know about this, then we got our runes. And I'm loving those little hearts that keep popping in on my head. Thank you very much. So they make this hat look even more interesting. So, and incidentally, whenever you see me in a hat, it's not wash day for the curls. That's all that means. Okay, so finances, hon. Let's see. X marks the spot. Gibo. Lightning bolt. Power. Okay, manifestation and opening. This looks good. I don't know if you're facing a new venture or something, but see, here's the thing is, remember where I was saying the reversals? Okay, the first two. Now, there's only about maybe 7 or 8 in the entire deck that don't have a reverse like this. And you've got 2 of them out of 3. Okay. So these 2 are very powerful. This is the Gibo, which is about the balance of energy. Okay. So I don't know if you've been approached about a partnership recently or in a new opportunity or something like that, but that is going to help you. Okay. That's going to bring in a little bit more of what you seek. Cause I think right now you're trying to hold down the fort and you're trying to do too much by yourself. Okay. If you get that and you start to get a little bit more of a balance where somebody helps to lighten your load, now all of a sudden, bam, now all the energy is flowing and it's exactly where you want it to go. Okay. And then we get that opening up where now you're a magnet. Okay. Because you're just kind of getting over that hump and then finally everything will start to flow. So you're right at that point where the finances will start to turn around. Okay. I know you're not feeling it just yet, but that's mainly because you got to focus on getting that help that you need. Okay. So hope that helps, hon. All right. Next.
Heather, general.
Heather, general. Okay. General Heather. Got it. Okay. So general, we're going to do the runes. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got 2 of them here. Okay. Couple reverses here, Heather, but then you've got a beautiful breakthrough. So how do we break this down? There's a little bit of a split in your energy right now. Okay. You're being torn in one direction where it's just like you're worrying, and overthinking on this side. Okay. And it has to do a lot with your energy level, your finances. That was badass. Whatever just went across the screen. I'm sorry. That was very Gen X of me. Okay. So anyway, all right. So you've got your energy split on this one side, but then on the other side, there are showing like these breakthroughs and everything. So I'm seeing like this beautiful flow of just kind of like the wings spreading, that big transformation of energy, and also Thor's hammer where it's like, okay. So I have a feeling, I mean, at least this is how it really looks, is that you're kind of the rock that's holding everything together. Okay. And what that's doing is you could really be propelling forward and doing what you need to do, but that's kind of holding you down a little bit. Okay. Because your energy the bulk of your energy is not being used for your own benefit. It's for everybody else. Okay. You got to learn how to say no, hon. Okay. Just a little bit more, because you start doing that and then all of a sudden there's a new beginning, things start to flow for you and it'll be much better. Okay. But that's the big thing, is that until you learn how to say no and you start, other people have to learn how to do what you do. You can't be there for them all the time. That also messes with your karma. Okay. So just keep that in mind, that, when you start doing for somebody else, it's a subtle way of saying that you don't think that they can get it without you. And I know that's not your intention. okay? But energetically, that's what you're doing, okay? It's kind of an enabling, and we don't want to do that, okay? You're way too advanced for that. All right, do we have a few more?
Yes, we have a few more.
Okay.
We have a user, but known as CM, who would like a general.
CM for general. Okay, got it. All right. So for general, we stick with the runes. I gotta shuffle these more. It's weird. I feel like I'm pulling the same ones over and over again, and I'm shuffling them like crazy, but it's just like I said before, when you get people gathering together, it's a like type of energy. So a lot of these messages that you're probably hearing for other people's readings might be resonating with you. So that's why it's worthwhile, even if you're not getting a reading, just listen, because you'd be surprised. There's a lot of general ones coming out here. So one is probably going to be directly for you. Okay. So we've got not these. Remember, that's the imbalance of power and of energy. Okay, so that's what we're starting with. Then it goes into a balance, all right? So I don't know why, but I just feel like this is somebody who just got out of a really bad relationship and is finally getting into a good relationship with themselves. Now, when I'm saying a bad relationship, it doesn't necessarily mean something like, a romantic relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a family relationship that you're finally looking at and going, hey, I don't like the way I'm being treated in this situation. It could be a work relationship. But I'm seeing something where there's an imbalance on the outside, but there's balance on the inside. Like, I'm not going to stand for that anymore. Okay. And then finally, the new beginning, the new growth, everything's starting to split apart and be like, yes, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is the way you're supposed to look at the situation. Okay. So there's something that got your goat lately that you just, you're like, I'm not putting up with that anymore. Good. Anger creates change. Okay. Sometimes, every once in a while, we do need to get a little PO'd in order to clean the decks, clear the decks. Okay, next.
Regina for a general.
Regina the queen. Okay, for general. I love that name. Okay. I always said if I had a daughter, I would like to name her Regina. I just like that name. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to flip this over. Regina, you got some chaos that you just went through. There's a lot of stuff going on all around you. It was pretty much showing. This is another one that has no reverse. No matter what way you look at it, you just had to deal with a lot of stuff. It was just hitting you from every direction. Okay. But that's in the past, because this is a past, present, future. Present, now it's showing it took its toll, because this is normally strength. And you're like, oh, I'm exhausted. Oh my God. All right. But how does the future look for you? Hey, abundance, growth. And this is actually the money rune. Okay, so whatever you went through, it's bringing you to a better place. Okay, so this is looking good. All right, so sometimes, these things happen. You just got to get through them. But whatever you learned from the situation, you're a little bit better off. You're not going to fall for that crap again. Okay, so good.
Cat for a general.
Cat for a general. Okay. So Miss Cat, let's see for your general. And again, I'm loving like a lot of the generals, because honestly, I feel like when you ask for a general, you're helping other people who are watching. So thank you for that. Okay, so let's see. Cat, the chaos again. You saw me shuffle these, right? This is crazy. Okay, so Gibo, okay, you learn who you can and who you can't trust, okay, as a result of all of that chaos. Now you're clear on who are really your friends and your family, okay? And then finally, this is Issa. This is really more about kind of taking time to heal from everything that you went through, and just kind of don't worry so much about having to do. This is kind of a time for you, time for things to slow down. Issa is ice. It's just basically cool down, slow down, rest and recharge. Okay? Because that's a rough time. And the thing is that in order to really integrate those lessons, you do need to do them with silence and out of a stressful situation. So just kind of give yourself that time to rest and recharge. Okay. Okay. So who we got? Any more?
Yes, you have 3 more.
3 more. Okay. And those, we cut that off, right? Those are the last 3?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the last 3.
Perfect. Okay. Good. All right. So who's my next one? Magick.
For a general.
For a general. Okay. So thank you. You guys are doing great with this. I think you're actually, by asking, you're helping a lot of others. So, and that's why it's okay if you didn't make the list tonight. I'm probably doing a reading right now for you and you don't even realize. Okay, so, wow. Okay, so you've got a lot of growth. Okay, now you pulled all 3 of your cards don't have a reverse. That's the first. That's the second. And that's the third. The first and the third are all about new growth. The one in the middle is about an imbalanced relationship. Okay? So it's showing all of this opportunity. Okay? I don't know if you are in some type of work situation or some type of new opportunity. There's a beautiful heart right there. But if you're in any type of situation that is kind of, I almost feel like it's a work or some type of business or something like that. I don't know what it is, but I'm just seeing some type of situation where other people are not pulling their own weight. And there's a lot of growth and everything, but it's all on behalf of what you're doing. Okay. And there's a lot of dead weight around you. Okay. And if this sounds like a theme that I'm saying a lot, well, guess what? You know, everybody's kind of in this energy right now where there's a lot of people who are kind of doing all of the work. And you might have a lot of people around you who are not necessarily giving back the same amount of energy that you're putting out. Okay. So the thing is that when you start to release some of that, you're going to see even more growth. So it's just showing you this is what needs to be faced in order to continue with this growth and all these good things that are going to happen to you. Because sometimes not all of the opportunities come to you. You're wondering, why is this not working? Why is this not flowing? Because you got some dead weight in the way. Okay. And they're slowing down your flow. And so I want you to kind of assess your situation. What's going on? Why are you not where you want to be? Now, it could be a business thing. It could be a relationship thing, but there's something that's pulling on your energy in such a way that is keeping you from your natural magnetism, and that's what allows you to pull into your life what you want. Got it? Okay. So we're just going to stick it with that. All right. So next one.
CKO.
CKO.
Would you mind a quick pull?
A quick one. Okay, so, well, we're going to do the 3. Okay, so CKO. Let's see what we got. So, CKO. Okay. Ooh, butterfly of transformation, lightning bolt of victory, and protection. Finally, energy is working in your favor. Okay, you have the advantage. All right. This is a really good one. Out of the 3, you've got 2 with no reverse. The butterfly of transformation. This is all about stepping out of the darkness and into the light. So even though it's a butterfly, you also look at it as going down a long, dark tunnel, and this is the light streaming out like crazy. Okay. Then you've got this is the lightning bolt of victory. This is the sun. This is just the power of the magician. You know, basically whatever you want, it's starting to happen. And then you've got this is the elm of protection. The energy is finally kind of looking out for you. So things are going to finally start to go where you're hoping they're going to go. Okay. So you've got to be very clear in putting out what you want. Don't hold back here. Okay. Because, just say it. Say it because it's going to happen. Right. And that energy doesn't align like that very often. So, don't be afraid to really be open and ask for what you want because you can manifest it. Okay. So, we got any more?
Yeah, we have one more. 2 more. We have George for Joe. He's our guy from Florida.
George. Hi, George from Florida. All right. Okay. So anyway, George, let's see. We're doing a general for you. Okay, so one more shuffle. And let's go again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, George. Let's see. Oh, okay. So we had a little bit of, this one was normally, this is the happiness rune. However, it's a little on its ear, it was reversed. Doesn't mean necessarily that you don't have happiness. It's just not something that has been motivating you or been focused on. This is just something like off to the side. It's like you're kind of work. You're doing all your thing and you're not really doing right now what's making you happy. So it's kind of like that's the energies warning you, please start to focus a little bit more on that. Okay. Money. Okay. That is prosperity, things coming in. All right. This may have been a concern. We're allowing that to kind of flow in and start to happen. And then finally, some much more growth in the financial sector. So maybe you can be a little bit more happy, give yourself a break, do things that bring you joy. Okay. So thank you so much. And for our final?
This is Barn Now Lanny for health.
Okay.
Barn Now Lanny.
Oh, I see. Barn Now Lanny. Okay. All right. So for the final of the evening, this is for your health. Okay, so I'm going to do a little two-part here. I'm going to do some runes. I will do one rune and I'll do one oracle card. We'll get a nice balance there, okay? So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to spread these out like that. I'm going to pick one. Actually, two came out, so you end up getting two. I said two also. It's like I knew I was going to pull two. Okay, so for health. Okay, I don't know if you're facing a diagnosis, but it's going to be better than what you think. All right. There is a reversal here where something is not being focused on. All right. I know it's not showing up as a reversal on the camera because it's mere reflection, but there is something there that's a little hidden, that's not being looked at. Okay. And that when you start to look a little bit more into these other aspects, these will have a much more positive effect. The big thing that you're worried about is going to be okay, but there are some other things that have to come into play to give you a little bit more balance. Okay. And then finally, with the oracle cards, these are the messages directly from Spirit. And this is also going to be a message for all of you. And this is about the higher self. Okay. So if you can see what it says on the bottom, your life purpose is calling. What is your life purpose? That's always a question. People come in and they tell me, I feel lost. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. You know, what I do for a living. I don't feel like it's in alignment with my higher purpose, but I don't know what my higher purpose is. Okay. And it's much simpler than we think. Our highest purpose is what brings us joy, what brings us excitement, what really gets the energy flowing. Okay. And you can fulfill your higher purpose doing any job, because if what brings you joy is just being in alignment with Spirit or helping people, you know, you can do that in so many different ways. So sometimes it doesn't always matter what we do for a living. We just have to know that when we're not working, we have to be doing what brings us joy, what brings us back into alignment, because when we are flowing with all of our energy, you create this wave of power that other people can't help but pick up on just by being in your presence. Okay? So your purpose is to make yourself happy. Okay? Because when you are happy, other people around you reflect it right back to you. So thank you so much. See what I mean? And we will be back next week, okay, 7 p.m. on Monday, Eastern Standard Time, for another live. And have a wonderful, wonderful week, and blessed be.